Hello, and welcome to my live video call. My name is Chad Allen. Woo! So we're really excited. I've been on a 7-day blitz for the past 5 days so far. So we have a couple more days before this transformational 7-day blitz comes to a close. And I just want to let you know that it is your time. It is your time to shine. And so I'm gonna give you a little bit of a story because a little bit about my own transformation and how I came to be who I am. And then I want to share with you also a few tidbits that I think would really help you to have that kind of understanding of why and how and the purposes of having a transformational mindset and things that it can really do for you. So, wow. So, my transformation, if you saw my post earlier, my transformation started. Actually, I've been in a transformational state for a very long time. However, I never really took it serious because it wasn't something that I thought I was that it was needed. And so I went through life, going through school, going through high school, going through the college, and working with my dad in his business, and trying different types of network marketing type businesses, but nothing ever seemed to work right. It was just I don't know what it was. It was just I couldn't figure it out. And they say, okay, you have to work on you. And I said, okay, fine. You have to work on you. And then you read the books, like the self help type books, and nothing's happening. You listen to certain tapes and nothing's happening. And and you just can't figure it out. I mean, everything that you are doing, everything that you are trying to do, you're working a business that you really love, and it's just not. Nothing seems to be happening. And I've come to the realization about a year and a half ago, after when. So basically, what happened was uh, my confidence began to build up when I first got married in 2015, and I had then my daughter came into this world, and my confidence really shot up, and I began to see things in a very different light. So instead of seeing the world in a more negative light, I began to see things in a more positive light. Maybe that's because I had the confidence, and also because um, I saw myself as being a. Now that I was a father, I had to really step up to the plate, and so I began to see things in a little bit different light, and I began to learn uh, about being a man of integrity, and about being how to release your shame, and how to release forgiveness, and how to do all of these things that can really hold you down. And when I began to do that, that was when my real transformation began, because I was holding all of this negative uh, stuff in my heart and in my mind. I couldn't let go. I was I was still holding on to something that was keeping me from having the kind of success that I wanted to. Yeah, I had short time success, but it was never lasting because I was not able to really grab and really finish a job, because I was one of the 98% people who can start anything in this world and be really good at it for a little while, but oh my goodness, what happens? Something happens, or you start thinking it's a little bit too hard and whatever, and then you quit. And that was me. That was me to a T, and I could never figure out why that was happening to myself. And I'm sure that many of you could really relate. to what I am sharing with you, because it wasn't so long after that when my transformation began to happen, I really began to see things in a much more positive light, and I began to make decisions that were where I made a decision that I'm going to get this done. I'm going to make it happen. And and lo and behold, I started a blog, and I started doing Facebook Lives on a consistent basis, and I've never done that before. I never. It's. I think I created my blog about maybe um 4 months ago, and I've been on Facebook Live ever since then as well. And that's something that I have been so consistent with, and I'm so it's like a celebration time, because I am finally breaking through. And then last week I went to an event, and the event is called Rank Makers Live. And if you ever want some good tips on network marketing type stuff, in a business and whatnot, how to run your business, I highly suggest going to higdengroup.com and signing up there. They got a really good, a lot of great information. I don't get anything out of that, by the way. So, but I attended one of his trainings last week, and it was all about transformation. It was all about working on you. It was all about uh, s- sending the right kind of message and whatnot. And it was at that event this past week where I really s- had a difference of thought. I was building up to it, right? But then when I heard all of the speakers, was it Pete Vargas, Barry Barmiger, uh, what was it, Tim Story, uh, Elliot Rowe. I mean, with so many of these big time speakers that came in. Oh, and Charlene Johnson. I mean, it was like so many that came in and were speaking. And they were sharing their stories, and they were sharing, uh, how you can have a breakthrough moment, how you can really become the utmost you, a better you, a you that it's really meant to be for this world, and how to release that unforgiveness in your heart, and really shine through. Because in reality, when it comes to business or other things that are like your physical appearances or whatever, if you're not right inside, if you're not right in the mind with your mindset, then these things are much more difficult to achieve and keep and to make it long lasting. And so I learned a lot this past weekend, just in that, and I really had a very strong breakthrough on this, and I was so amazed by it, because since then I have been consistent and believe in the power of transformation. And I wanted to share with you what I learned, because if I share with what I learned with you, then maybe you can have a breakthrough also, and really create the kind of change that you are really, really, really hoping for in your life. And one of the ways that you could do that is by believing in yourself, and making a decision that you will have that your will make your mindset right. And so I've listened to several books already on Audible, and I'm really, really happy where I am at now, because I feel very, very strongly that there is a breakthrough, and you can have that breakthrough too. If I can do it, you can do it. And you are only one tweak away from your own breakthrough. And I really, really, really believe that, with all of my heart. So when it comes to people, when they're talking when they are positive versus negative, and a lot of people see that as being, oh my goodness, what are you talking? Why are you talking like that for? But it's really true. It's when you put away the negative thoughts in your mind and you change them to be a positive thought, that kind of vibe that you are portraying to other people will be very noticeable. For example, if I was always upset at the politics in the world, because a lot of people are, right? A lot of people have uh, very angry what's going on politically. And so they're yelling at their TV. They're getting high blood. They're super angry. They're cussing, and we know all this other stuff. And so if you're there and you are like that, then together you are in unison with one another, right? Because you're both really angry and upset. But imagine being someone who is more positive, going to someone who is really, really negative, especially when it comes to politics. It's very difficult to have that kind of unity there, right? So you, but if the person who is positive is there, like there's only two things that can happen if you're always together. One's always negative, one's always positive. And usually the one who's negative is always still going to be the one that's going to win, because the person who is positive starts getting drained and they start believing in these things. While the person who is positive, they are not really seeing the light, unless the person who is positive is strong minded and they have a strong mind and they have the right kind of mindset. Then perhaps when they say, "Hey, listen, you are being very, very negative. You are the reason why you're not having the kind of success that you're wanting is because of your attitude. You have a bad attitude, and you need to change it so that you can have the kind of success you want." So your subconscious mind is really working for you, whether it's negative or whether it's positive. And it's so true. This was my breakthrough this past week, and I know it could be your breakthrough this week. You just if you just put into practice what I've shared with you over the past week or so. And so I want to share some things with you that I really believe that will help you and help you get that those positive vibes going. Because like I said, if you're being positive, you are portraying that to other people, and other people see it, whether you believe it that or not, or whether you are trying to portray that. People see that. If you're being negative all the time, people see that. And especially if you're in business, guess what? People know if you are excited or not excited, or you're confident or you're being serious or not being serious. They know by the tone of your words, by the tone of your writing. They know exactly what's going on with you, right? So you have to be able to. This is why you have to have the right kind of mindset, because if you are talking to somebody about your product or about losing weight or whatever, but then you say, yeah, but deep down in your subconscious mind, you're saying, yeah, right, whatever. This person's not gonna believe. This person's not gonna lose the weight. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. You know what? That belief permeates the other person, right? And they know. I don't know how they know, but they know. And then you end up attracting that kind of activity that you are trying to stay away from. And that was when my dad got really upset, because he like the printer was always running out of ink so quickly, right? And he's like, "Oh, it's always something, blah blah blah." It's like the time when he had the truck broke down. He had the van that needed the new light system. Yeah, and then you had the ink, and it's like all these things came at one time. So I told my dad, I was like, "Listen, you are attracting what you are saying, because you're saying all these things, and then you're so irritated and agitated, and the words that you're saying, you're attracting these things. Well, no wonder. You need to start being being more positive about things, and if they do happen, you turn that into a positive, so that your world will have a different perspective and you begin to change because being angry and upset doesn't change the situation at all. You have to because what's being angry going to do? How is it going to change you from having to go to the store to buy more ink or to get a car fixed? It's not going to change anything. It's still there. So why are you going to be so upset with it? It just you just let it. You just keep on. But there are things when it comes to like prospecting and that kind of thing that you can tweak and tweak your mindset because people know what how you are feeling, whether you're writing to them or whether you are talking to them. They know exactly what's going on. So you really have to be able to make that change. So anyway, before I move on, I haven't mentioned yet, but you can go to my website at chadallen.net, CHADALLAN.net, and you can get my freebie there. It's just right underneath the banner, and that's or you can go to chadallen.net/freebie FREEBIE. Okay, so the so how can we remove that negative from our life so that we can have a more positive type of attitude about who we are and what we want in life. So I would suggest this. Okay, you need to remove the negative, if possible. I mean, it's not always possible because especially if it's your kids or if it's a spouse. Uh, you're on the same roof. It's very difficult, but if you can, you want to remove yourself from the negative as much as possible, and then replace it with positive thoughts. So whenever a negative thought comes to you, you need to reject it immediately. So like one of the things that I do because I've had the issue. I've had the issue in the past of say it's like, "Hey Chad, how you doing? How are you? All right, what you been doing? Not much." So when I say not much, I am telling that person that I have nothing going on, that that it's not really important, and so it's a negative, right? It has a negative connotation to it. So I've been saying instead, uh, it's like I'm great. I am changing lives for the better. And that's positive. It's it brings confidence and excitement and curiosity. All these things that people what they are like, wow, what are you doing? And like, what is that? That kind of thing, right? So this is so you need to learn how to affirm yourself. Affirmation is a big thing, but you not only should learn how to affirm yourself as a person, you also need to learn how to affirm others in your life. Affirm your husband or wife, affirm your children, even when they are, even though like you don't want to affirm, you find something that you can affirm and affirm them for that. It's very important that you do that because eventually that negative will be negated. Uh, it may it could be that negation of negativity could happen very quickly, or it could take a little bit of time. It depends how deep the roots are. But you keep affirming, and then people love affirmation, and we are people who want to be affirmed. And so you have to be able to see value in yourself and other people. If you are a person who doesn't see your own value in life, then how are you ever going to make an impact on other people? Because if you're not seeing your own value, then other people are not going to see value in you either, and it will show. And if you show value, if you show a little bit of value to yourself and a little bit of value to other people, people see that. They know. So when you show value to other people and you show value to yourself, and what I mean by showing value is you see yourself and other people in a very positive way. Of course, there's always people who do bad things, and I'm not talking about that. But what I'm talking about is like when you see the good in people that are, of course, not committing crimes or anything like that. But even them, they have some positive things about them, right? It's just that they committed a wrong. So we have to really see the positive in our friends and our families as much as possible, as well as in ourselves. And we need to do this daily. We need to be able to uh, so when I talk about removing the negative and affirming yourself and rejecting the negative and replacing with the positive, it needs to be done daily until you are until that negative thought, whatever you had, is completely removed from your mind. And I really believe that your mind will really uh, you'll see a big changes that will really come to you. You know, once that happens. So I'm really grateful for that all of you came here tonight. If you're on the replay, please you can definitely message me. Now I'll say hi and answer your questions. If you're have anything personal, you can always message me as well, which is totally okay. And like earlier, you go to my webpage at chadonna.net, CHADALLAN.net, and you can get my freebie. It's chadonna.net/freebie, FREEBIE. And I will see you tomorrow because 7 days I got tomorrow Sunday to do as well. But those will be much shorter than tonight. So and then we'll be back Monday and Wednesday and Friday for the longer videos as well. I might do another 7-day blitz on a different topic. I starting Monday, but we will see when we'll see what happens and what is decided on Sunday night. So I thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited that you're here, and if you found value in tonight's video, please share it with your friends and family and send them on over, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Day 6 transformation. Hallelujah. All right. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.